Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning and salam Ramadan. Welcome to our fourth session of webinar series Captain of Industry, brought to you by Faculty of Engineering. We are taking this initiative during MCO to have a platform for our Captain of Industry to share their thoughts, way forward and challenges for post-COVID-19. Now we are streaming live from Facebook Faculty of Engineering. Today, we would like to welcome Dr. Sharlene Thiagarajah, Chief Executive Officer, TM Research and Development, with her topic today, TM R&D's contributions to Malaysia economic success. Without further ado, I would like to invite Yang Berusaha, Professor Dato Engineer Dr. Muhammad Rafiq, Dr. Abdul Kadir, Dean, Faculty of Engineering, to introduce our captain today. Over to you, Dato.
Thank you, Murni. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning to our speaker, who is also our alumna, Dr. Sharlene. Welcome back to UTM, Dr. Sharlene. And also a very good morning to all of you watching this Captain of Industry webinar series live through our Faculty of Engineering UTM Facebook. First of all, I would like to say thank you so much to our presenter today, despite her busy schedule, can still slot an hour with us to share her experience leading TM R&D and be appointed as our Captain of Industry. I was told that the slot was originally planned half an hour later at 10:30, but have to move forward a bit because Dr. Sharlene has an important meeting at 11. Again, Dr. Sharlene, thank you very much for accepting our invitation for this webinar. Let me brief all of you for a short biography of our presenter today. Dr. Sharlene Thiagarajah serves as the Chief Executive Officer of TM Research and Development, a wholly owned subsidiary of Telekom Malaysia Group. She is responsible to bring new technology and innovation to the group with special focus on advanced analytics, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, and digital platforms. In 2016-2017, she was appointed chairman of the R&D value stream for Acacia Communication Sendirian Berhad, a unique ASEAN collaboration among 7 leading telecommunications providers in the region. She currently serves as a committee member in the Faculty of Science, Material Science at University Putra Malaysia, UPM. She has more than 20 years experience in the telecommunications industry with numerous IPRs and research publications to her name. She holds a PhD in Computer Systems Engineering, a master's degree in Telecommunications Engineering from UPM, and of course, a Bachelor of Engineering in Electrical Engineering with first-class honors from University Technology Malaysia, UTM. She started her career in 1995 as an RF engineer at TM R&D, where she led the team to commercialize a tri-band antenna system for 3G communications. She later moved to TM Corporate Strategy as General Manager, Strategic Planning and Business Development for the group. In 2013, she was appointed Head of Strategy for VADS Berhad, VADS Berhad, and in 2014, appointed as Vice President of Technology and Innovation before assuming her current role in 2016. Without further ado, I call upon Dr. Sharlene. Dr. Sharlene, over to you.
Thank you so much, Puan Murni and Datuk Rafiq, for that kind introduction. Let me launch my slide and I will use that as a basis to talk to you all today. So first of all, a very good morning, UTM, and thank you so much for inviting me. It is indeed an honor to be here and to speak to all of you today. For those of you who don't know me, and I think Prof has given a very kind introduction, I am a UTM alumni, graduated in 1995, SKE, I think one of the hardest faculties of engineering in UTM. I was the last batch to graduate from Kuala Lumpur campus, and after that I think all the students had to move to Skudai to start their new education. So today I'm going to tell you my story, and basically based on the title, it's actually talking about my vision for R&D, not just TM R&D but all R&Ds and all engineering students and graduates and faculty of engineering, the entire group of people that produces and creates. And I want to share with you how we can all drive and contribute to the Malaysian economy. So there'll be 3 parts to my presentation, and I'm using it as a guide to actually walk through the journey of where we came from and where we believe our vision and our end goal is. First, I'll talk to you about R&D's transformation journey, and then during MCO, our contribution to the fight against COVID-19, and finally, our view of how we can all contribute to the Malaysian economic success. So I'll launch straight into it. Now, if the name of my company is not already a dead giveaway, I just sort of want to make it very clear that we are a wholly owned subsidiary of the TM Group. We were incorporated in 2001. And for those of you who may not know TM, Telekom Malaysia is by far the most comprehensive telecommunication infrastructure provider in the country. We not only connect people to people, but also corporations, businesses, SMEs, governments, as well as provide international gateway and submarine cables for global connectivity. And what makes TM really special in my mind is that there are not many companies, and even telcos left in the world that still invest in R&D. And I believe this is a very, very important and strong pillar for the growth and sustainability, not just for a company, but also for a country. And today, TM R&D, we are reporting directly to the group CEO. We are an independent subsidiary. We create and we build things, and we sell what we build. We commercialize what we build. So we are known as the principal. We own all the IPs, and that is where we create value. Our strategic role is to bring new technology and innovation, not just for Telekom Malaysia, but also we believe for Malaysia in general, and to contribute to nation building and the digital knowledge economy. Now, the reason I'm stressing this is because it was not always this way. Yeah, in the past, so we were incorporated in 2001, but as a division, we were operating a R&D function way back in the early 80s, and only incorporated in 2001 as a company. And even then, since the 80s and in 2001 and the early 2000s, the focus was always, for R&D anyway, was the pursuit of new knowledge. And our measure of success was the number of patents you produce, the number of copyrights, paper publications, and so on. And, you know, within Telekom Malaysia, we were known, or TM R&D was known as the place to rest and die. It's really sad because, you know, R&D, and then they made it rest and die, because corporations or management kept on asking, so what do you do? Because they couldn't understand the value of the patents, because, you know, the patent industry is not very big or robust in Malaysia as it is in potentially the US. And it's harder to sell some small component that sits in a larger system when you only build that small component, a very good one, a very good product, but for people to appreciate what it is and how to use it and the value of it, you needed the entire ecosystem to be ready. And that was where I think as you know, the CEOs at that time, you know, it was struggling to say, how do we create value? And in 2016, I took over as CEO of TM R&D in this phase. And I realized if we kept on that momentum, well, very good, in certain areas, we would lose out. We would not be relevant anymore to the new age of business, and so and worst case, you know, we'll be closed down. And so I realized way back in 2016 that we needed to change, and that's where I started driving a change mindset of moving away from a traditional R&D outfit into a innovation powerhouse, driving a value leadership culture. And we did three things differently. Number one, we only picked up projects that had business case, and we needed to calculate what is the benefit for TM. And at that point, we were just doing for TM. And of course, in very simple terms, the guidance to my team was we need to do projects that make money for the group, projects that save money for the group. Simple. So save money is things like cost avoidance, productivity gains, cost savings, and so on. And then we decided that we also needed to do projects that are very market relevant, very commercially potential, right? So we build for TM because there's a use case, there's a benefit, and it also can be then sold, because there's no point building something that only one person can use or one company can use. We needed to build something that can scale. And the third thing we changed, the measure of success for TM R&D. We started calculating the value that we create with all the products, with all the output of our research work. In the past, like I mentioned, it was always number of patents and IPRs, but people couldn't correlate. How would that benefit the organization? How is that going to benefit the nation directly? Indirectly, people understand, but directly, it was a bit tough. So we quantified the value of the work that we did. And I'm happy to say today, we are known as the Center of Excellence for Innovation and Thought Leadership. We're known as the producer of cool solutions. That's my word. Producer of cool solutions, smarter solutions, IR 4.0 solutions. We're commercializing what we build, which is always very difficult because engineers can build very well, but we're not very good at talking about our products, marketing it, putting a spin on some of the stories and coming out to media and so on. So that took a lot of learning. And also today, we're not just building for Malaysia or TM, but we're building for the global market. So having a view of a global outlook is very important. And because of digitization, because of shrinking of borders and so on, looking global when you design any of your products or when you decide to go to market is key. And I'm very happy to share with you that in 2019, we had a good year. We did our best year ever. And this is what we have contributed to the group. We delivered 1.6 billion in innovation impact based on the work that we have done for the group. In the past, we were delivering about 300 million or so on value creation. But in 2019, with my incredible team, and I really need to thank all of them, they really embraced the change mindset and the value leadership that we were driving, and they produced these incredible results. 1.6 billion in cost savings and avoidance. Now, not all of this 1.6 billion is, of course, realized in that year, because it takes many, many years for the full outfit or the full blown impact to sit in. And so we delivered actual hard savings, 300 million, and a new revenue creation of a few hundred million. We also then built an open innovation platform, and this is very much Jiwa researcher. We wanted to share the work that we did via APIs, and APIs, as you know, is the new asset. It's a new class of asset that I've created. Apart from just patents and papers, APIs would be the new digital assets for an organization. So we built a brokerage system that I'll talk about in a little bit. And we drove 27 million API calls last year alone, because we launched it in 2019. And I remember setting a target for the team and for myself. And we said, how are we going to drive traffic? How are we going to drive something into, and nobody knows us, nobody knows what we do, and so on. And we said, okay, we were thinking like 5,000 API calls, my team was saying, and I said, no, we needed to put something unbelievable, and we set 1 million as the target. And I'm shocked and speechless. And when we did the math, or when the engines reported back what was the API calls, we were doing 27 million. And imagine if we started sharing more and more of this, of what we're doing, to the nation and to UTM. And I'm going to share a little bit more at the end of the slide on how UTM can leverage what we've built. Yeah. And of course, we still stuck to how we did things in the past as well. We didn't lose sight of the patents and the IPRs. So we have more than 2,000 patents and IPRs, because these are also assets of the country. We have more than 100 publications and awards. Yeah. So on top of that, and this is my incredible team, we launched and commercialized 5 products in the market. And this was never done before, because it was not in the psyche of researchers to commercialize and market your product. We always build, we're always happy to be in the labs. And then, once it's very great, we have a little party, but we don't know how to tell people about it. We don't know how to share what we've built. So we out of 20 odd, fantastic products, we commercialized 5 in 2019, and 2 of them has external sales. And this is something very, very exciting for us, because we have never had a big external company, using our product, and it's a digital IR 4.0 product. 2 of them, I'll name them. SWIMS, which is our Internet of Water solution that is currently being used by Syarikat Air in a state. I cannot name them. It is about making the flow of water, the tracking of water, and understanding non-revenue water, which is water that is pumped out from the logi, but lost along the way through leakage or theft. So by putting sensors at the right locations and junctions, we can tell at a very good accuracy where was water leaking, or where was a burst pipe, and then can route with very good accuracy to the field operation teams at the Syarikat Air to go and fix it, and so on and so on. And with a digital meter, one would Syarikat Air would then be able to send your bill to your phone, or to your email, without sending an actual person to go and read your water meter at every house, which is very, very low end, low tech, and very cumbersome job. The second thing that we brought to market was our Force. This is this person in the helmet here, which is something that we have been using in TM for the longest time, for more than 5 years, something built in-house by my team. So today, if you have a Unify line and then you call them to your home for repairs or installation, you would see them carrying a tablet, and everything is now done on this tablet. So all the backend systems, the integration for restoration, fulfillment, and new order creation, and all that is actually done digitally, and that was built by my team, and it's been used in TM for the last more than 5 years. And today we're bringing it out to market, and we've got 1 customer already. And on top of that, so it's and the reason I'm showing all this is because even this surpassed even my wildest expectation of what we can do as a group of producers, as a group of engineers, researchers, scientists, thinkers, who, once we put our minds to it, can do incredible stuff. And this was something that was launched in January 2020, very recently, and it was launched by the Prime Minister Tun Mahathir at that time, Prime Minister at that time, and this was the 5G demonstration project, which was under the purview of MCMC, our regulators. So it was a showcase about the capabilities and the value of 5G and how it can bring progress to the nation. And what you see right in the middle here, this dark blue dashboard, is actually a snapshot of the real dashboard that was used as the central dashboard that monitors all 5G use cases, and it was developed by TM R&D. a very small company or subsidiary within the larger TM group that used to be called Rest and Die, but no more. Yeah. So and out of the 11 use cases that TM showcased, TM R&D delivered 6 of them, including the Gerbang Langkawi, which was branded as the Gerbang Langkawi, as the dashboard that collates all the smart solutions that was deployed, and you can show it in a single dashboard. So for data scientists out there, and I know there are definitely many among you, you would understand the value of having data residing in a single platform. So you can then use it, correlate, and do greater and better solutions. So the theme during 5G Langkawi was smart cities, and so we had 5+1 Gerbang Langkawi as our showcase: the smart helmet, the P-Safe, ACE, which is the retail analytics solution, SWIMS, which is the smart water solution I talked about, and Convest, which is our smart vehicle tracking. In fact, things like Force and Convest, I mean, even for UTM, when you have your guards and your operations team that needs to go and take a look at the campus and walk around if there's someone complaining the lights went off or something like that. So there's a lot of routing of complaints and trouble ticket. You can call it trouble ticket. And there's a system that can easily route to the nearest guy that is stationed there, or susun the jadual. So it's very ngam, very well planned. So imagine in the past, one technician would need to go to the same block maybe 3-4 times that day, because the susunan of the complaints was all over the place. So first he goes to block A, then he goes to block H, and then he goes back to block A, and then he goes back to block I. When if you could route the tickets correctly, then you actually have better efficiency. And that's what we found when we did everything digital. I'm sure we got about, in some cases, minimum 4 times efficiency gains. And this was way back in early on when it was first deployed, 2015 or something. And in some states or some regions was 8 times efficiency gains. I may be going a little bit fast because, but if there's any questions, then you can get me at the end of the session. So that was that. In January 2020, we launched, use cases for 5G. We were very excited about it. And then in February, the whole COVID situation fell upon Malaysia. And as we in management team and my team in R&D, we thought, what is it that we can do to help? At that time, early on, I think if you all remember, there was a lot of talk, but focus a lot on the medical researchers, the medical side, the biomedical side of things, where people were thinking, they needed to create vaccines, they needed to figure out how to do test kits faster and so on. So for us in R&D, we felt a little bit left out. We said, "Oh my God, everybody who's in the biomedical space, had something to do. What do we do?" And the team put on their thinking caps, and we came up with 3 things that we wanted to do, and based on our competency and capability that we can contribute to Malaysia. So we built a fantastic AI thermal camera solution, and I'll share a little bit more in detail. We also built a contact tracing app, which we decided not to launch because at the time that we wanted to launch, there were just too many ministries already launching it. So we said, there's no point to have too many in a country. And the third one is a data mart, a data brokerage system for all information on COVID. So researchers and the ministry and the governments can gather data and do more insights. Now I'll go into that. So the first thing that we launched, and this was during MCO, early April, if I'm not mistaken. So we launched EWAR, and EWAR stands for Early Warning Alert and Response Solution, designed for safety as the top priority. And we decided to do it because we realized that for businesses to maintain operations during MCO or even after MCO, it is very important to make sure that your office is not going to be a hotbed for the escalation of COVID-19, God forbid, right? So we said, how can we give peace of mind to businesses to continue operations or running their business with certain measures in place so they can feel safe that all their staff has been checked and temperature is fine and so on. At that time, early stage, a lot of people were using those forehead handheld thermometers, and that was good. I mean, it was one step better than having no thermometer, but you still needed a guy or a person standing very close to the visitor or staff and putting the thermometer on your head. So that was not very good in terms of social distancing, and the accuracy of the thermometers were not there. So we decided to put together a hardware and software combined feature that is AI driven, does multiple camera, does real-time alerts and notifications and so on. So we built it with the end in mind to complete the critical loop from detection to containment. And this is important because a lot of the cameras we found, or a lot of the solutions, were very much standalone. They can take temperature and give you some nice readings on the side dashboard or on the screen, but that's it. You can't use it. You can't take the data and crunch it. You can't escalate it. Everything is kind of you look at it and then it's gone. You look at it and it's gone. It's not stored anywhere. So we decided that what we needed was a four-phase approach. You need to detect. So we had a very high accurate camera that can do 0.3 degrees accuracy plus minus. It can detect 10 to 15 people concurrently per second, because that's good for crowds. So imagine if, we were looking at the lobby of TM as an example, there's crowds. We have 28,000 staff, maybe 4,000 or 5,000 within the Klang Valley that comes into the office every day. So there's no way you can have, guards or health officials with a thermometer on a stick, trying to get the temperature of your staff before they can get into the lift and get into the office. So we needed something to manage the crowds. And then instead of putting so many people on the ground to do that, we needed to do it very digitally. So with the real-time alerts, everything goes to the cloud for analysis and dashboarding and escalation to the bosses and to the OSHA team or to the facilities team, to make sure if, let's say, there is somebody with very high temperature, which is under here, the fourth category, you can identify who they are, and of course send an alert to a nearby guard, and the guard will then look for you and bring you aside into a containment room, because that's depending on the SOP of the company or the ministry and so on, and then send you home if that's the case. And with that, you can the facilities manager can then decide if there is a need to do a cleansing of the place, or whatever. So a lot of it was integrating hardware and software, and to design a solution that we believe brought better benefit than the standard solutions that was available at the time. I'm sure now there'll be a lot of similar solutions also in the market. So where do we think these applications will work? And for us, we were not thinking, like I said early on in my presentation, we were not thinking just for this one-off. We needed to build something that could scale. And we realized that for any pandemic, some like SARS or even the flu or the measles, chickenpox or chikungunya, one of the key first warning signs is always high temperature. And if we can use this camera throughout the year and put it in very strategic locations, you can probably determine if there is an outbreak coming. Could be anything. It could be even the flu. And even for cases like the flu, and I'm running an organization, and I think even Prof would agree with me. Once you have one person with the flu, and he comes into office, and he's is sneezing and he's tearing and he's touching the tables, guarantee 3 more or 4 more or 5 more people within the same office will then kind of feel, oh, I feel down, I'm starting to get a flu, I'm starting to cough, because that's how these things spread. And so having a detection system is really important, not just for pandemics like COVID, but also for the less deadly the ones, as an early warning detection, and maybe new protocols will be in place. And I'm thinking about it seriously. Even for people with the flu, we should allow them to work from home, because half the time, the first 2 days, there is a productivity, it's a reduction in productivity. People are not feeling well, and so on. So the solution that we built, we believe, would be great for areas like hypermarkets, transport terminals, airports, hospitals, schools, university colleges, where there's a lot of crowds or people coming in and out, random people sometimes, buildings, banks, main offices, corporate offices, lobbies of big offices, like Petronas Twin Tower as an example. And then, of course, factories, retail, malls, meeting rooms, boardrooms. I think all of you know the story of one of the super spreader was actually a board member. Kindergartens, hotels, and of course exits and entries. Anywhere really where we believe early warning is crucial. Some pictures. We've installed our solution at the MAIPS. MAIPS is the low-risk quarantine center in Serdang. It was a makeshift quarantine center. If you notice, these are all tents actually, and it's platform, because they're all makeshift. They needed to do it fast. My team. Now I'm very, very proud of them, because this was during MCO. They needed to go in, they needed to fix it, calibrate the system, make sure it follows the MOH protocols as well, because this is in the quarantine station. And these are the pictures of my entire team. If you notice in this picture, they are practicing social distancing. Very good. Okay, and yes, and a lot of our work has been picked up by the media. We're very happy for that. So when we unveiled the solution in early April, and when we installed in MAIPS, we've got MOH and some of the directors giving good comments. So we're very happy, and it's you can read all of this if you like. It's on our website or in LinkedIn. You can follow us on LinkedIn. What else? Okay. So solution or initiative number 2, like I mentioned, was the contact tracing app which we didn't launch, because there were so many ministries launching about the same time. So we said it's okay. This one, the ministries should drive. I think that's the right thing to do. But what we did do together with MDEC was to launch very recently. I think the news releases were all picked up by the media as well in Monday or Tuesday. So you can read about it as well. We launched a data exchange platform in collaboration with MDEC to bolster the research efforts in combating the COVID-19 pandemic. And this is the open innovation platform that I spoke about, where we are now offering it for free to anyone. Actually, it was always free, but not many people knew about it. So this is where we are promoting this for this use case for COVID. But if you notice, right on this blue bar here on top, it actually has a data store, and it's all free, of all these things. Yeah. So imagine, and I think this, I'm offering this to UTM, you could have your own tab here as well, to upload open data, not sensitive data, of all your measurement equipment, your measurement research work. I remember Prof. Tariq, he was my professor for communications, and he used to do a lot of measurements on rain. And imagine putting all this data here. and for another researcher or somebody else who wants to then pick up and run a project, taking, for example, rain information versus maybe pollution index information, if it's there from the Department of Environment, or temperature, and then do a correlation with how much water is being consumed by Malaysians and so on. So that'd be a cool research project. In fact, I do get a lot of students writing into me asking if they could have a little bit of data because they needed to complete their final year thesis or their PhD thesis. And I think this is a platform that is what we call it, prosumer. You can produce and upload, it's for free, and you can consume and use it also for free. So it's about sharing, and it's about creating a very healthy ecosystem for research, because you never know what the data scientist is going to think up or analyze and give you new models, right, based on what they see, and everybody will gain. So this is something that I really would like to share with UTM, and please take advantage of it. We have 500 over data sets, or few thousand data sets. I don't recall the numbers. It's growing every day. You can find this at https exchange.oip.tmrnd.com.my. Everything is online, and I know all you engineers, no big deal. You all can go in, plug and play, and it should be very easy to use. So this brings me to my final slide, and I wanted to share my vision for Malaysia and how all of us can contribute to the success of the Malaysian economy. And this is it, my vision for the nation. And because I have very strong roots in R&D, I've spent a lot of my years working in this space and working with talents in Malaysia and Malaysian talents, building cool stuff. And to me, the measure of success, or the success for Malaysia, is actually to build a nation of producers and not a nation of consumers. And let me tell you a story why. I'm sure most of you have used Lazada. I'm just using Lazada as an example. It's not bad or anything. I'm just using it as an example, an e-commerce platform that is, now giving us or serving us, for every of our needs. And there's Shopee, and there's so many there out there. But the example is Lazada. So let's say you want to go in and you want to buy a calculator. And you go in and you check and you find there are like 10 merchants selling the same thing. And everyone is undercutting one another. So you might have one merchant at 100 ringgit, which you already thought was cheap, right? And then it goes down to another merchant at 20 ringgit. And you'll be thinking, and it's the exact same one. And you'll be thinking, how is that even possible? Who's undercutting who? So imagine if you, as a producer of this, or the manufacturer of this calculator, you also buy a store in Lazada and you sell your product. And if there's a price war going on, who do you think can go rock bottom? It's you, the manufacturer, the producer. So in the past, before there was this e-commerce and internet making e-commerce possible, of course, you needed resellers, people to go to your country or to your factory to buy and then come back to your country and open a store and so on. But with e-commerce platforms and manufacturers being able to reach the customer, not just in your own country, but globally, then the need for a reseller is reduced somewhat. It diminishes a little bit the requirement or the value of having a reseller. And the only way to stay competitive, because this price war will come, right? And the only way to be competitive is if you produce it yourself as well. So if there is another pandemic, at least within your country, you can ramp up production. You can serve the needs of your country. And that is like the ultimate safety net, if you will. And this is my strong belief. we all, as engineers, researchers, data scientists, and faculty of engineering especially, we all play a part in making or ensuring the success of Malaysia's economic success. So with that, I end my presentation. Let me check for time. Okay, just about right. And do join us. Join the innovation, enriching humanity and progressing nations. And I think this is the end of my presentation. Thank you very much for listening. I will minimize my slides. So over back to you, Puan Murni.
Okay. Thank you, Thank you, Dr. Sharlene, for your good and awesome sharing with us. Okay, we are waiting for questions from our viewers in the comment. All right. Okay, a comment from Asnida, Dr. Asnida Abdul Wahab, one of our senior lecturer in Faculty of Engineering. The data platform would be really helpful for students to use for their project continuity during COVID-19, since collecting data in the lab is not possible now. Thanks, TM R&D. Okay.
Thank you. I mean, this is, we built the Open Innovation Platform. We launched it in MMU because that's our sister company. And we'd love to come and share it with UTM. For sure, go in, it's free, just use, whatever data is there. And if there's other data that is not there and you want it, we are working with MDEC. We can definitely escalate some open data, and not sensitive, they're open data. We can help you with that.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Doctor. From Zafira Hashim, dear Doctor, as a lady CEO, what are the challenges that you face and how you solve it?
Ni kena 1 jam lagi ni. Actually, I am actually very grateful and very thankful for the management of TM for giving me the opportunity, because I'm sure there were so many candidates and so they gave me the opportunity. As a lady CEO, yes, you're juggling so many things, and I think today, yeah, of course, women always do more, do more at home. And I think for me, it's always doing your best, and yes, you need to strive harder. Having a very supportive environment to work, in your company, in your family life is very, very important. And it's not easy, and it's a continuous struggle. But yes, I'm sure everyone given the opportunity can do it. So it's nothing special, really. It's just do it.
Okay. All right. Just do it.
Just do it. Yes. So the one thing I want to share is, like, if you're given the opportunity, please, if possible, never say no. Just take it and do your best. And because we always kind of think sometimes, oh, we're not good enough. Can I meet the expectation? So my advice is just do it, take it, and just do your best. People can see, people will help you. There are a lot of great people out there. They will help you.
Yeah, of course. I'm indeed profoundly indeed with you, Doctor. Okay. Any further questions from our viewers so far? Yeah, I've been mentioned mentioned by Dr. Iqbal that your staff from TM R&D also watching with us, and thank you for TM R&D staff for also with us today, and we appreciate your time, your precious time, for our captain of industry. Okay. If you don't have any further questions, I would like to pass to Datuk Rafiq for just a few short brief before we close our session today.
Sure.
Thank you, Murni, and again, thank you so very much, Dr. Sharlene, for sharing your experience as a leader, as a lady CEO of TM R&D. Your last slide on nation of producers and not nation of consumers. Now, that kind of statement, we have that exactly the same statement at the Faculty of Engineering. We basically ask our lecturers not just about lecturing, not just about teaching, not just about research, because most of our lecturers, they are very, very comfortable working in labs. But we need to do a bit more, so whatever that we produce from the labs can actually benefit the nation. So we produce, rather than just ending up writing papers for publications and ranking. So in that sense, I really appreciate that you showed that slide, because that slide means that we have exactly the same thing, the same vision. For UTM, we also ask our lecturers, of course, lecturers at the Faculty of Engineering, which is the largest faculty of engineering in Asia, I would say, because we have about 700 academic staff. So my biggest job is actually to motivate them, so that they produce, so that we become a nation of producers rather than we consume. Yeah. So that is a excellent statement by TM R&D. Again, Dr. Sharlene, thank you so very much for sharing your experience leading such a huge and massive institution for the country. And then hopefully we can continue our collaboration after this. And of course, we really, we are very proud, yeah, to have our own alumni leading as a CEO of a big, huge, massive institution like the MR&D. And to all of you watching this webinars, Captain of UTM Engineering Captains of Industry, please don't forget to like, share, and comment. Let me try. I always got it. Okay, I get it. Now I'm showing the right thing. Yeah, it says like, comment, and share. Don't forget to like, comment, and share our Facebook, Faculty of Engineering UTM Johor Bahru. We have a lot more CEOs coming next week. Again, like, comment, and share these videos to all your colleagues, to all your friends. Come and join us next time, inshallah. So again, thank you to Dr. Sharlene, and thank you to all of you watching this webinar series live from Facebook of the Faculty of Engineering. Over to you, Murni. Thank you.
Thank you, Dato'. And also thank you again for Dr. Sharlene, and also for our viewers watching our webinar, Captain of Industry today. It is always a pleasure for us to having our large number of viewers for our webinar, Captain of Industry. Please wait to our next webinar with our next Captain of Industry next week. More will coming up in future. All right. Please don't forget to like, comment, and share our program. Have a good day. Stay safe, stay at home. Wabillahi taufiq wa hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Bye.
Bye-bye.